Hey, internet friends, cousins, and scoundrels. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Pull up a chair, honey, and let's have a chat. And since the algorithm really likes it when you interact with the content, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe since you're here. Now I ain't gonna hold you. Let's get right into this.
Before we get started, a huge shout out to those who support the channel. Thank you so much. Want to support the channel too? Cash App, $, BetUKnowNow. The blogger OSNC has released more of her conversation with Slaw. And once again, these recordings just prove my point that side chick behavior is purely intentional, methodical, calculating, and they know exactly what the fuck they're doing, okay? Completely. Now, in this latest drop, Slaw said a lot, a whole ass lot. And some shit she said was downright disgusting because, again, she was speaking out of her ass and on information that she had no firsthand knowledge of. Okay? But let's take this shit one piece at a time. First off, she basically admits that Mel did nothing wrong. Okay? She actually admits her role in this mess. Slaw does seem to take a minute bit of responsibility for her actions on this call, which is quite contrary to her public rants online when she blames wives in general for the breakdown and destruction of their marriages. On this call, she doesn't blame Mel for reacting to her or the situation the way she did because, again, Slaw knows that she's at fault for the bullshit that is going on. But at the same time, Slaw slips in and out of delusion as well, right? She goes on to say that Martell's kids are going to hate them, right? And she believes that they're going to hate their father when they see the show later on, right? Now stop right there and just stop right there. She says they're going to hate him when they see the show, right? Because all they will see on the show is that he had a mistress and a baby and that their mom was crying. The delusion is that she believes that the kids would need to see that on a show in order to come to that conclusion, right? They need to be able to see that on a show to know that their father mistreated their mother. No ho, their mama was crying at home. Mel and Martell were even at one point sleeping in different bedrooms, and as viewers, we saw that part on the show, right? Mel, we're all become aware that Mel moved out of that house at one point. And the kids lived through all of it. As viewers, we only saw a fraction of what was really taking place inside of their home. And Slaw, it's like she doesn't realize that these kids have firsthand knowledge of what is happening because they actually lived in the house that she helped to destroy. She doesn't get that part. They also understand that your child didn't come from their mother. He's an outsider. He is not a four-piece nugget. So how else did he get here? Okay? And he also have the same father as them. Like, let's be for real. It's the fact that they have an outside sibling. Okay? That outside child is the living, breathing proof that their father, along with your help, destroyed their family. They don't have to sit and watch that on the show, ho. That is their reality. They lived it. What are you talking about? There was so much babble on this recording, and I will not repeat any of the allegations that were said because whether true or false, these are family matters. Okay? These are family matters. True or false. And she was tasked to put this shit out in the ether. That was her assignment. Let's be 100% clear here, okay? I want to be 100% clear. And I've said this before, but it's worth repeating, in my opinion. Side chicks are masculinas. They are hella aggressive and they seek and need male validation. These chicks are male identified. They are not girls. So they can see a woman being mistreated and they will jump in to participate even at their own detriment, right? Which is how you know Martell's hands are all over these phone calls. His hands are all over it. The blogger said that she was dropped that family tea. I believe she said she was dropped it in a Facebook group. And I believe the person that dropped the anonymous tea was Martell himself. And when OSNC didn't put it out, he tasked Slaw to go and drop it off. Okay? Which is why she says at one point, I think the OSNC says something like, "Girl, I know you fucking lying." And Slaw says, "I don't have to lie. Martell told me this." And the reason why she added that onto that statement is because by Martell telling her that, by her saying that, that helps to lend credibility to what was being said. Because again, OSNC confirms that she was already told this information, right? So she wasn't acting on it. And Slaw goes, "Oh yeah, that person was probably that they were anonymous. They were anonymous. So I'm telling you." So that's what I'm saying. I believe that Martell hands is all over this shit from start to finish. Start to fucking finish. He is the author behind this madness. It's him. And after she says all of this madness, Slaw adds, "Now do whatever you want with that." Meaning, go ahead and put it out, right? We've heard on several of these phone call drops, Slaw say, "Put that out or do with that whatever you want," because she understands that she is talking to a blogger. Okay? She's under no delusion that this woman doesn't do what she does, right? Her job is to talk to this woman and put this tea out on mail, right? That's what she's been tasked to do, which is why she gets on the phone with this woman, right? And rarely talks about herself and what she has going on. Slaw doesn't talk about in depth her dynamic with Martell. It's always male-centered conversations. Slaw said that Martell doesn't even want her talking to people if she isn't going to speak about him, in a positive light, which was one of his reasons for not wanting her to do the Tasha K podcast initially, right? He wanted to make sure that she would get on this podcast and speak highly of him. The funny thing is that her own mouth is her downfall. She's failed. She's a complete fucking failure at what the task assignment was, right? She fucking failed. They both fucking failed. Mel doesn't have to do anything at this point. She doesn't have to do a damn thing. This girl's mouth is her and Martell's downfall. The very mouth that she used to taunt Mel with is actually now taunting her. Ain't that a bitch? What's funny to me is that Martell put the battery in this chick's back to hop up online and poke at Mel. The shit this chick would say, and almost daily, was just, I have no words. And she knows it was wrong. She's admitted that Mel was a good woman and that Mel was the driving force for the family. She knows this. It is fact. Right? She knows it. He knows it. Look, we all know it, okay? Martell would see this chick and all of her antics, and personally I believe he would put her up to most of the things that she would do, but then she would do things on her own because she had his support. And per her words, he would only take issue with what she had to say when it came to him being in the line of fire. Other than that, it was open season on Mel. And because of that, once again, Karma spent the block on two wheels, and her mouth managed to get Martell locked up, kicked off a paid speaking engagement, blackballed and ostracized in the community, alienated by the very people he says encouraged him to cheat in the first place because Scott's 1 and 2 unfollowed him on social media. And actually, who knows what else? Because this blogger has what she says is hours and hours and hours and hours of conversations. Slaw is lonely and isolated. She has no friends, right? And her babbit ass mama clearly does not have a good relationship with her, in my opinion, because she isn't talking to her or advising her on, ways to course correct. She has sisters that she clearly doesn't have a close, girlfriend type of relationship with, because again, no guidance. And the fact that she sat there for hours talking to a blogger about shit that she was not supposed to speak on, like the Revenge P plot, lets me know that she is severely in need of female companionship and a friend, right? I mean, she sits in her house all day long with a nonverbal child. And I'm saying that he's nonverbal not because something is wrong with him, but because he is a child. So this child can't have an adult conversation, right? For most of the time, because he's little, he's babbling because he's a baby. It's just a fact, right? So she's sitting here with a nonverbal child and a maniac who I also don't believe holds adult conversations with her. I don't think Martell talks to her. I think he talks at her. I think he orders her to do things. He doesn't have meaningful or adult conversations with her. He plots with her, he schemes with her, but he doesn't sit down and actually have conversations with her. They don't talk. He talks at her. He commands her to do things. He orders her to do stuff, and this is in my opinion, okay? In my opinion, all right? But he does not talk to her, which is why when he got on the Tasha K podcast, he said, "I don't know this woman. I'm trying to get to know her. I need to know her." Right? And how do you get to know people? You talk to them, you have meaningful conversations with them. So I believe him when he says he doesn't know this woman, because he don't know her. He doesn't. He's never had a real conversation with her at all, period. It's been sex, and it's just been him ordering her around and tasking her to do things. So he's isolated this woman, and these are her two outlets: a nonverbal baby and a nonsensical maniac, right? So when she gets in front of OSNC, she spills her beans, she spills her guts, and she goes beyond the task at hand. The same thing happened when she sat down and started conversating with Carson Blue. I felt like she was so desperate and in need of a friend that she went overboard with Carson, really giving her everything in the beginning. And I don't say this to say that anyone should feel sorry for this woman. No, hell no. Slaw fought for the position she has, right? She fought for that seat. So that's her seat. That's what she won. That's the dummy prize she won. She played a fool's game and she won the dummy prize. As simple as that. Okay. So I'm not saying that anybody should feel sorry for her. No. What I'm saying is she was tasked to drop the tea to a blogger and leave. But she stayed, she put her feet up, and she got really comfortable with a stranger. And that is not what she was actually tasked to do. And this is how her mouth has now become a weapon that was intended to use against Mel. They intended to use her mouth as a weapon against Mel, but is now turned on them. And it's her same mouth, her same words that are becoming their downfall. That part right there is what is a trip to me. And serves her fucking right. Serves them both right. Literally a real world example of what makes you laugh will make you cry. Anyway, hop down in those comments. Let me know about what you think about the new recording drop by OS and C. And what do you think about how this is really imploding, how her mouth is, and their actions, their plots and plans are actually imploding back onto them, right? Drop down in the comments and let's talk about it. Again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, bet you know now.